Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 19th. We'll see how this goes. I thought maybe I'd do a little daily vlog, day in my life, quarantined, working from home. But it's a little before 7 a.m. and I am ready to go out for my morning walk. So, this is my standard getup. Lululemon attire, my hat. I don't yet have my mask on, but that will be on before I walk out the door. Yeah, so I'm going out for a walk. I'll come back, I'll shower. Sometimes I shower later in the day, but I'm gonna shower this morning and get dressed as I'm gonna get for the day. We'll see what that entails. Oh, and then I thought, because on my last video, I did a video on Sunday of like the outfits I wish I was wearing. A few of you asked me, maybe it was in my video or maybe it was in my Instagram or both, but to share my, how I make my cocktails. So I do have a happy hour tonight with a few of my really good friends. So that means I will likely be making myself a cocktail. So I thought I could also make my cocktail with you. So it'll be a very exciting day. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay, so I'm back from my exercise. I've got, hold on. I've got the news on. This is the routine. I got dressed. This is the excitement of the day. Jeans, a t-shirt, a belt, and this little sweater. And usually every morning I make my own iced tea, but I had enough left from yesterday. So and then the question at this point is always, should I start making some breakfast now, or hold on, whatever, this will have to be good enough, or do I just go right to work and then maybe make breakfast at some point, or do I skip breakfast? This is always the debate. I had gotten out of the habit of eating breakfast back when I was going to the office every day, but once I started being home every day, I got back into the habit of eating breakfast. So most days I do eat some breakfast. But I think for now, I will set myself up at my desk. And start working. Oh, and not that exciting, but an exciting news, when I was on my walk yesterday, I noticed that one of my favorite little local spots to eat, like really more for takeout, was open after it had not been open for most of this time. So I went there last night and I did some takeout, and it was so nice. They were like, thank you for your support. I mean, it was just so nice. So I had that for dinner last night, which was basically delicious chicken francaise and broccoli and salad. It was very good. And I don't know if you can hear all the noise, but my building, so the whole building is getting the whole facade is being redone. So right now the brick is this old like 60s era white brick, and they're replacing it with like more of a muted like beige brick, making it look, I guess, a little more modern. And the work had stopped for a couple weeks. But the building like put an application to whoever you have to, the city, the state, I don't know how it works. And they said that the work can continue. So it's really loud. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's one of the many unfortunate things for me about working from home is that it's a lot of noise. But anyway, so I am going to set myself up. So this is my work setup right here, my dining table. Oh, but I have to, so I'll connect my laptop to my bigger screen, and then I'll use both screens. So maybe I will check in with you again around lunchtime. Bye. Okay, this is not, I've got to get this on a better angle. I need it to be up higher. But anyway, I'm sitting here at my desk. So far this morning, I've done a couple personal things. I am looking into home kind of care services for my dad. So I made a couple calls about that yesterday to some places down in Florida, and then I talked to his wife today about it. So that was progress. I just got off a call. Who do I have a text from? I just got off a call with our IT people. I'm trying to negotiate for a lower price. Like, I'm like, we're paying you guys way too much. Let's figure out how we can reduce this. So he's gonna come back to me on that. And it's almost, oh, it's 11:30. So that's what I've been up to so far, which is not very exciting, but this is my day. Check in again later. Bye. Okay, it's lunchtime. I made myself my version of, there's this place called Jersey Mike's, and they've, what I like the kind of subs I sometimes like, just really like thin sliced meat, you know, oil, vinegar, spices, and they will do a tub for you if you want, like, so if you want to have the, you know, basically the sandwich, but without the bread, you can get that. So I made myself today my version of the Jersey Mike's salad. So it's just lettuce, tomato, cucumbers, pickles, ham, cheese, oil, vinegar, and my favorite, okay, I love Penzeys spices, and this sandwich sprinkle is delicious. So I sprinkled this on there too, and then I put a little mayonnaise on top, so it's really like a sandwich. And I know this container looks weird, but this is Coqui mayonnaise. It's this Japanese mayonnaise. A lot of like Asian restaurants and stuff use it. It's delicious. It is delicious. So that is my lunch today, along with my guilty pleasure Diet Coke. I wish I had a fountain, a Diet Coke fountain here, because I love a fountain soda, but c'est la vie. So halfway through the day, lunchtime, I have got Governor Cuomo's press conference on, which I watch like pretty much almost every day. And once this is off, I will probably turn the telly off and put on some tunes and try to drown out, oh my God, the noise of the construction on my building. Okay, that's it for now. Okay, so it is 10 to 7. I have my happy hour with my girlfriends at 7. So I'm gonna make my vesper. That's my favorite cocktail, like hands down, my kind of all the time cocktail. I have lately also been making a classic cocktail called an aviation. That's not what we're gonna have tonight. So I should start by saying a vesper is basically a martini. It is all booze. So if you do not like all booze, like this may not be the drink for you. Anyway. Actually, so is the aviation. I made an aviation for my sister recently, last weekend maybe, because she thought she would really like it, and she was like, this is really strong, because she doesn't usually drink martinis. So we ended up taking the aviation, putting it on rocks, and adding some you know, seltzer, so that it, like, whatever, muted it down, diluted it, I guess. So anyway, here's the process. My glass is chilling in the freezer, and I keep my vodka and gin in the freezer, because my personal preference is I like my martinis really cold. And it's actually the one thing about going out to restaurants that I don't always like the way they make me a martini as well as I can make it myself, because no matter how much you shake it up, it's never going to be as cold as it is if the booze is in the freezer. So it's these three ingredients: gin, vodka, And this is called Coqui Americano. You can also use Lillet Blanc. They're both, I guess it's like a fortified white wine. Is that what we would call it? I don't know. Yeah, an aperitif wine. But anyway, the Lillet Blanc and the Coqui Americano is very similar. I historically always preferred my Vespers with Lillet Blanc. Actually, I can't even say preferred. I always used to have my Vespers with Lillet Blanc. And I don't know at what point I tried Coqui, but now that I've been using the Coqui, I actually think I like it better. So when I can get Coqui, I do, and if not, I get the Lillet Blanc. So anyway, and in terms of like vodka, you can use whatever vodka you like. I like Stoli. I mean, there are a lot. I actually really love Tito's, but I happen to have Stoli at the moment. For gin, this is Beefeater London Dry Gin. Some gins are much more like herby, and I don't love that type of gin in a Vesper. I prefer a dry gin. So it's all about personal preference. So, okay. So I take, oh, this is a new bottle of gin. Let's see if we can. The bottle's cold. It's harder to open. There we go. Okay. So I take 2 parts gin. So jigger 1, jigger 2. And then I take 1 part vodka. And so you can make the drink as big or as small as you want. These are just, you know, like I'm using the bigger side of this jigger. You can use the smaller side, you know, however you want. And then I do 1 part Coqui, which is pretty heavy on the Coqui. Some people will make a Vesper with less than that. I actually really like it this way. And interestingly, when I was at my brother's, he said to me, you know, Lissy, will you make us a Vesper? He usually drinks a martini, like just straight vodka. But he was like, you know, why don't you make us a Vesper? And I made it for him, and he was like, your Vesper is so much better than mine. And I think it's because of the ratios. He does not use as much Coqui or Lillet Blanc or whatever in his. Okay, then I shake it. And I usually, depending on what I'm doing, I'll let it sit a minute or 2. Let's put this stuff away, back in the freezer from where it came. My freezer is not normally this full. But because I've been home so much, I have a lot more food in the freezer than I usually, I guess this is my way of saying I usually have way more room in the freezer for booze. And I don't keep as much. So anyway, okay, so chilled glass, lemon twist, lemon peel, whatever. It's not really a twist. And then I usually like to savor my cocktail because this will last, you know, a long time. So I usually don't pour the whole thing in the glass. So, you know, I pour just like, you know, half or a little bit less than half in the glass. My hands are freezing. Because as I said, I like it really cold and I like it to stay cold. My favorite restaurants are the ones where I say, if I'm halfway through my martini and I say, can you please get me a cup of ice? They'll say, oh, would you like me to reshake your cocktail for you? And I'm like, actually, I would love that. Love that. So that's why I keep it in the, you know, in the shaker. So I pour a little, I keep it in there, and then I just kind of pour it as I go so that it stays cold. It also definitely waters it down, but in a way that's a good thing because it's a very strong drink. So cheers, happy Tuesday, and thanks for joining me on my Tuesday quarantine day. See you next time.